Hello, the 31st here, how's it going? Welcome back to another PowerPoint presentation. So recently I've been thinking about legendary Pokemon and why they aren't as strong as they should be. And I've been wondering if maybe they were stronger before, maybe a long time ago. The main example that comes to mind on this topic is of course Groudon and Kyogre. They are nowhere near as strong as the legends say they should be, but they do have ancient primal forms that are stronger. So I'm wondering if maybe a long time ago there was simply more infinity energy available, but that now it's running out. The idea of the main energy or magic or whatever in a fictional world once being abundant in the ancient past and now running out in modern times is not some, brand new idea that I've come up with. It's a pretty common plot element across the genre of fiction, but it does make sense in the world of Pokemon. The general idea being that maybe millions of years ago, there was just a lot more infinity energy around. And as a result, the Pokemon were stronger and potentially had different forms. I've already mentioned the weather duo, but it's possible that more, if not all, of the old world legends had these primal forms. Dialga does in the Explorers of Mystery Dungeon series, which are, obviously far from main canon, but there if Dialga does, Palkia probably does as well. And maybe so do some of the other legendaries. Plus there are dex entries that imply that certain mega forms could be the original version of the Pokemon from long ago, for example, in Aerodactyl's case. However, nowadays, forcing it to bear this unnatural form is harmful for it because it's just not used to dealing with that sort of energy anymore. Modern creatures are potentially adapted to modern levels of infinity energy. Additionally, there's the ancient Evos from Gen 4, like Yamega or Tangrowth. Bigger, stronger versions of Pokemon we know today that can no longer be attained naturally. Although in their case, it could definitely be a bunch of other reasons more closely linked to the real world, especially as they aren't as old. There is a finite and ultimately limited amount of energy and matter in the universe. Now, while the origins of the universe are always going to be in question, anyone who saw my failed short from the other day knows that the Big Bang is canon in the Pokemon world. Now, I'm not a physicist, but I believe that all this diagram really tells us is that the universe and all its matter and energy originated from a single point and is slowly diffusing its way outwards. However, that detail alone is pretty important and a key element of this theory. You see, the universe is constantly expanding. All that interchangeable matter and energy is just getting further and further apart. And that means that the amount of energy on and around the Earth is going to decrease with time. And another important factor to consider is that now there is more life than ever before on the planet. That limited amount of energy is now dispersed and spread across the many living things that live here, rather than being hoarded by a few primordial beings. The billions, or maybe even trillions of living organisms on Earth are now soaking up all that infinity energy and draining the supply. Basically, rather than just having one super cool, ultra powerful Rayquaza, we instead have millions of shitty little Bunnelbys. The more Pokemon, the weaker they are overall. I mean, this is obviously not going to be noticeable on a human lifespan though. Like I said, this is something that's only going to be seen on a geological or maybe even cosmological timescale. And maybe the reason mega evolutions are possible in the timeline that the ultimate weapon was fired is that simply by taking all the infinity energy of the lives of countless Pokemon and condensing it allowed some of that dispersed energy to come back together, showing off what the true potential of Pokemon could have been in ancient times. But, I mean, that's all just theory and conjecture, but it does sound pretty nice and logical if you ask me. And I wouldn't worry about your Pokemon running out of infinity energy anytime soon. Like I said, it's just something I've been thinking about recently, and it's sort of just come together a little bit. But as always, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you have any theories of your own, leave them as well. I will read them. Like if you liked, subscribe to see more. Goodbye.